It's so radical. We've forgotten how radical it is.
An architect who broke all the rules.
He was a pop figure.
And the project that nearly broke him.
It was like a knife fight.
The building that defied logic.
It expands.
And the people who tried to stop it.
Oh, they hated each other.
What you've got here are the makings of a disaster.
How they finally pulled it off. The Guggenheim Museum. I'm Stuart Varney, and this is American Built.
Controversy on which he thrived in life follows Frank Lloyd Wright to his grave with the opening of the cylindrical Guggenheim Museum in New York City.
Sometimes great leaps in science, art, or business are made by rule breakers. In architecture, you have to be a bit more careful. But when a groundbreaking idea meets up with flawless engineering, the result can be worth fighting for. In the early 20th century, artists were breaking all the rules.
The day of making portraits or painting landscapes was gone.
It was the art of Kandinsky, whimsical, uninhibited, playful improvisations of color.
They called it non-objective or abstract art. Solomon Guggenheim loved it, and he could afford it. Guggenheim was heir to one of the largest fortunes in the world, and one particular artist had his ear, Hilla Ribe.
A slightly mysterious and mystical figure who was a baroness.
She's a painter of some distinction, and she is one of the most sophisticated art critics that Manhattan has at this time.
Ribe urged Guggenheim to collect more and more abstract art.
Guggenheim, as his collection grew, was enchanted by the idea of making his own museum to house his collection and making it available to the public.
Hilla Ribe became his trusted advisor on the project.
She wanted to have a building that would represent and house non-objective art.
At the time, the popular architecture in Manhattan was known as the International style. Sleek, steel and glass buildings like the Seagram building were all the rage. Its designer, Ludwig Mies van der Rohe, was also imagining the museum of the future.
Guggenheim saw what Mies van der Rohe was offering, and it's a rather cold, frosty, chilly, sterile receptacle of art. And he was buying Kandinsky.
That wasn't right for the kind of art that they were collecting.
Ribe and Guggenheim courted another kind of architect, an iconoclast named Frank Lloyd Wright.
Frank Lloyd Wright is considered by many people to be America's greatest architect.
He was someone who didn't follow the norms in anything he did.
He is a man who really revolutionized the way we build, the way we live. Being inspired by nature, built these houses that were more free-flowing.
He loosened them up, opened them up. We cannot think of the split-level home, the ranch home, without Frank Lloyd Wright.
Wright's most famous design was a home called Falling Water.
Everyone else who would build a house by a waterfall would give you a picture window looking at the waterfall. Wright said you are going to live with the waterfall. So the waterfall flows in and around and through the house.
That meant using a lot of concrete to cantilever to move out over the waterfall without any supports.
Wright also designed churches and office buildings, all with a unique sense of movement. Hilla Ribe asked him to design a museum for Guggenheim.
The one thing that he had never designed was a museum.
The trouble with museums is they tend to be in the city.
He loved the city, and he hated the city.
He would make grand pronouncements about how New York was a mess and congested, and he should redesign it.
But Wright's high-flying career had hit a snag.
Wright was desperate for work.
So when Hilla Ribe came calling, Frank Lloyd Wright was more than ready.
And when Guggenheim dangles a commission for him, Wright leapt at it.
And not only did he get a chance to design a museum, he got to design one in the middle of New York, if he could find a site, that is.
Ah, there's the rub. Guggenheim gave Wright just 1 year to find a site, or the deal was off.
Because of that stipulation, he had a strong incentive to find land and build something as fast as possible.
To navigate the Manhattan real estate market, Wright turned to the ultimate New York power broker, Robert Moses.
Robert Moses was Parks Commissioner, but he took that way further.
Robert Moses is the man who shaped 20th century New York City, the whole city, from airport to bridges to the highway system. It was Moses who did it, and what a fitting name.
Moses and Wright were an odd couple.
Oh, they hated each other. Frank Lloyd Wright thought that Robert Moses was a typical snooty New Yorker.
That snooty New Yorker wanted to give New York a modern museum. So the power broker and the celebrity architect went shopping together.
The first site that Wright took seriously was an 80-acre tract up in the Bronx along the Hudson. And his first designs were in the vein of the prairie style, that is, low-slung, ground-hugging, horizontal buildings.
For Guggenheim and Rebay, the Bronx was a non-starter.
Hilaire Bay says, not happening. You need to find a site in Manhattan.
His visionary designs for a rural Guggenheim Museum almost cost him the job.
Wright and Moses hit the streets again.
Racing against the one-year deadline, he finally finds a site on Fifth Avenue next to Central Park.
The lot on Fifth Avenue between 88th and 89th Streets was a compromise Wright could live with.
Wright cared very deeply about his reputation, and if he was going to build in New York, he wanted to build in the most prestigious site possible. And Fifth Avenue fronting Central Park is as prestigious as you can get.
Now, the trouble was, there was simply not enough room for his long, low design.
This was a very difficult problem because it was a tight site.
So Wright does what any architect does. When you change the terms of the job, he's got to work on a corner urban site. He just pushes his building up, goes straight up.
His big move was not to pile up, but to spiral up.
Wright took the low-slung plan for the Bronx Museum and twisted it, literally twisted it, into a spiral that looked like nothing else in Manhattan or anywhere. Hilaire Bay was not sure about this.
Hilaire Bay had hired Frank Lloyd Wright because he was a strong architect. But when she saw what she was going to get, she started to worry.
Rebay and Wright squared off against each other.
This was close, intimate, and personal between people who knew each other. It was like a knife fight.